Dang it, it is not the fuse. Of course it's not the fuse. It's never really ever the fuse. If the fuse is blown, it's because something else has gone anyway. So that's a pain in the bum. We shall do this back up and I guess find ourselves some tools which I have here. And we'll get the top of this random unknown pneumatic off and play Where is the Electricity? Like flip you over, up you come. Yep, we need a new inner. Oh, 08. Yep, nice original top there. Let's take this off and oh, that's a shame. We have all of the prongs under there. So it's probably not that. It's probably not the cable at all. It's not going to be there. What we can do is now go into continuity mode and check for continuity. We have live. Yeah, it's not the cable rewind. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. That means it's possibly something serious. That's going to be a pain in the bum, isn't it? Let us take this off, and well, the switch is already on, so we can put the meter across the switch. Meter. Yeah, we even have switch. Has the PCB gone? No, not even the PCB. Crikey, what has happened to this poor Henry's cousin, Henry's nephew? We're about to find out. I want to rip it off and a load of rubbish comes out. There we go. Oh, this looks like fire. This looks like polystyrene beads. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh goodness. Oh wow. Yeah, no, she has gone bad. Oh gosh. Ugh. Yeah. So what's happened here is that this vacuum cleaner has sucked up polystyrene beads, possibly with a knackered filter. And yeah, it's just burnt itself out. It's about the only way I can describe it. There's certainly bits of black and disgustingness everywhere. Let's give this a bit of a clean up. No such luck. It's either the fuse or something more sinister. But I don't want to just go changing the fuse if it's then going to, trip out my entire house. So let's take it apart a bit. I've got the bench vac because something tells me that we are going to need it. So that inside here is just going to be full. Absolutely full. Oh, I've got to get... There we go, these screws are in very tight, which means this thing's got very hot and the plastic's expanded and contracted. Last one. Crack. There it goes. And we can hopefully flip this over and lift the top off. It was made in 2016 then. I must have made these. Oh, I suppose actually that could be the jewel, the Charles bit, couldn't it? Saying that bit's not bad. Yeah. Right, the lamb motor is okay-ish. Can't flip and get to anything. I want to just have a look without completely. But I guess we're not going to be able to. So. Where's the 3 screws? Oh, they're not. Are they Torx? Hang on. Can't even see the screws. Let me go have a look. Right. So, sit rep. Can't take the middle layer off because that screw in there has rounded off. But I did manage to break the shroud off the top of the motor, and I'm amazed. Look how good that com is. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And both the carbon brushes seem to be touching it fine. So I'm wondering if actually might have a slightly more simple issue with the cable. Let me go and get my multimeter, give it a probe, and I'll tell you what I find. I found the issue, folks. This was hiding underneath the cable grommet. There we go. So this makes it a lot easier suddenly. I was faffing around sticking a new length of flex on it, but I think all we need to do is we'll cut it down here, nice and far out of the way. We'll feed it back to the, I had it in my hand, where have I just put it? Cable grommet. Now, before we forget. And we shall simply strip the end. Twist the cables together and fit them in. This could be very, very simple, which is good because there's no way I'm getting that motor out now without damaging something or having to extract the screw. How lucky of it, that cable breaking probably saved its life. Because I should be telling the owner that he really should be using it dry without a filter. If it works, of course. Yeah, we need to put this in first. There we go. I'm leaving a good length of cable inside the machine. Because this thing is going to need it. 2018, literally. This will only just be a year old. Poor thing. But I suppose this is what we never see, because this would have, you know, oh gosh, we'll give those a vacuum out. This would have just been used until it died and then put in the bin, because it would have done itself. Look at the state of the plug. The wear on those pins, which you can't see because my camera's deciding to not. There we go. Look, I haven't checked if the fuse is working. I should probably do that. I got a bit excited and stopped testing. Yep, the fuse works, so that's fine. We'll drop that back in. We'll just give it a quick back out. That we've done something. So there you go there, you're all on there. We've got to feed this back on there, good, with a click, then one motor wire, two motor wires, two motor wires, come on. There we are. Beautiful, if you can call it that, because that's what we're doing with it. I doubt he's going to want to go in for the full refurb, quite frankly. and I'd be stupid to do it for the, you know, little bit of money that I'll be charging for this. That's a massive pain. And isn't sitting down. There we go. Oh. None of the screws have fallen out, I don't think. It's got the cutout for the... That's weird. It's got the cutout for the heavy tools. They must just not bother re-stamping this part for the machines that don't even have that. Oh, these are really stiff. That'll do. I think. No, that's not sat properly. Oh, because that screw isn't done up at all. I think because this top bit clamps down the motor, it requires... Good to know though that the current generation of lighting is quite resilient. That was a 1994 one, there'd be nothing left. His son had had a go. I mean, his son's probably my age, so hopefully, you know, there's nothing too bad lurking in here. But yeah, if somebody's been in here before, I don't just want to go plugging it in and checking. So yeah, straight in. Look how clean it is. You got one of these from the car boot for a tenner at the weekend, it would be destroyed. Bless its little heart. So there is our pump. Very nice indeed, and it all looks like it's been put back. Look at it, it's meant. It all looks like it's been put back together fine. I just can't quite get over that. Look at it. That is astonishingly clean. I mean, that is, I don't think I've seen one this clean. And yeah, it all looks fine. All these. Ooh. That line's a little bit loose, and they haven't got it into the little thing. So fair enough. I think I do now feel comfortable enough that we're going to pop this back together quickly. So I just didn't want him to have unplugged the wires from that end, say, and we go and cause a massive fire. So yeah, we'll go and pop this back together, see if it runs and see if it makes pumpy noises. Pumpy! So let's... Thank you. Let's undo the outer screws and go a level deeper. Problem is, it's where they tug at the cable when they do their work. I think when this goes back, I shall tell her that if it happens again, we might fit a longer lead to the machine. Right, flip that over, then we can lift the top off. This comes with it, and all we really need is this. The fingers under the cord reel are good, so it's not that, it is another cable break somewhere. We'll have to see if we can spot it in a second. Yeah, everything else seems really, really good indeed, although I know that a couple of you are probably going to want to see what the motor is in this 2007 I agree, it does sound incredibly good, doesn't it? So it'd be silly to not have a little look inside. Oh yes, look, there's the inverter for the power socket. Oh, very nice. I can leave it in there as well, look, very nice double fan case motor indeed. Righty dokey, let's get this bit to be looked at. Hello Mr. Snuggy. Make sure Felix doesn't eat you. Right, so let's see what the damage is, because yeah, actually we may as well start with the plug, which seems okay. I mean, it's obviously trashed, but it's not too bad. Yeah, we ain't gonna plug this in for nothing. Oh goodness. Oh, the water has been flowing through this. Yes, look, that's happened from the outside in. So there we go. Look, whoops. Yeah, that is Oh god, the cord reel barely works. I don't even know they're living in here. Yeah, that is soaked. It hasn't rained here for ages. This is literally all thanks to it picking up water. Bless it. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I'm a little bit sceptical of what we're about to find, if I'm honest. Oh, this one's very rusty. Uh-oh. Oh, it moved. Thank you. Oh, God. Yeah. That is a fairly crusty, rusty, smushy motor. Everything has been wet, and I think it's been stored. Saying that, though, the motor does turn. Like it. Oh, hello. 1, 2. I don't know, actually. That doesn't look bad at all. It's not immediately kaboomed itself either. Oh, what have we got? We have a lamb. Well, I don't know, folks. We might actually be in with I'm not plugging it in now. No. We might be in with a chance here of resurrecting this poor thing. I mean, there is a spider in there. I've not had a gag that deep for years from a vacuum cleaner ever. Right, get on with it. We're going to pop this apart because, well, wow. The motor is dead anyway, and quite honestly, I do not want it in the house smelling like that. I wasn't going to get round to it straight away, at least, but that was... So, to this stage, at least, everything seems okay. Yeah, nothing untoward, but the really grim part going to be here. Let's see how much of this has to join the bleach bath. Oh, don't let me touch it. Just separate, you stupid new thing. I should know these really well, of course, because I've got very friendly with one of these, building it into a LED show. Oof. It stinks, but it's not as bad because it's not concentrated. Oh, why are you coming out with it? I don't want you to come out with it. I don't want to touch you at all. Oh, good job the box is still outside. Right, that is fine, but... Oh, there goes that smell again. Yeah. No flipping surprise. Our motor decided it didn't want to live anymore, and it's actually blown off the joint on there, and I don't blame it. I'm not even going to bother fixing it. So, there we go. I want to get all of this out of the house. Oh my goodness. And, yeah, I shall end the video when it doesn't feel like I'm going to throw up again. All 3 screws undone, we can lift up the top to reveal the UDS motor that these have. And I'm going to pull the contacts off. There we go. Let's just check. I don't think these blow. They're sort of self-resetting magnetic switches almost. So I'll put that out. Take that out, and we shall extract the motor, which spins. Tis a motor from October 1995, and there's no blown bits on the comm at all. That all seems relatively fine. Let's have a carbon brush out. Aha. There, folks, is probably our issue. Look, the carbon brush, that's bouncy. That is the inner part of the carbon brush right there. Not looking too happy indeed. It hasn't damaged the comm. See, that one's almost the same. Hasn't damaged it, but I think it's just because the guy saw it die Yeah, that's still quite carbony. Normally, that would, yes, I can see I can see something, it bounces in and out. It's very strange. But nonetheless, this is blown carbons indeed. So, we have a chat to the owner, see if he fancies sticking a set of carbons on to see if we can get it working. Is any good or not? Because obviously this came from a vacuum repair shop and the owner couldn't tell me didn't know where it came from. So this could be a failed customer repair. It could have been a working machine that's been pillaged for parts. I just don't know. This is literally, I may as well have found this on the side of the road in an abandoned house like the last one. So let me just pop this down here and we shall lift his hood off and see what we have. So we do have the cable inside of the cord rewind. One of the tabs is broken, which they do. This one, this is a 2001 one, this one is working fine. However, this is the original 1996 inner, but I'll be honest, I don't think we can be too picky about this at this stage. We just need to get it to work. There is the original cable sticker on that wire, but unless I can feed it onto the new one, I'm afraid it's going to be going. So for now, oh, that's handy. We do have, though, the cable exit guide. So this has obviously been apart at some point. Not sure why. So I might just get 2 new contacts and keep this entire unit and just swap the cable eventually. For now, we're just going to put that there, and I'm basically just going to drop this straight in to see what is what. Still isn't very smelly. We have the on-off switch and the power take-off sockets. Let me just drop these screws out just to get them where I can see them. Okay, because what we shall now do, while we are this far, is I'm just going to take the motor housing off just to see if there's anything immediately apparent that means I probably shouldn't just plug this straight in and turn it on. Because, you know, we should be safe every now and again. Yeah, I'm quite excited about this because I'm hoping the original motor works, because older Henrys have such a lovely sound. Here we go. Right. We have a motor. Not the prettiest of conditions, but it is a motor. Oh, let's just take that out. I wanted to check if it spins. It doesn't look... Oh, there's a glass thing. Hello. That must be the thermal cutout. Ah, hang on, it's not moving. It is completely seized up. Oh, hello. Crikey. Let's take the wires off, because this has turned into something else. This is very seized. Oh, that's a shame. That is a big shame indeed. Cannot turn that at all. I don't think I've got enough tools to actually do the job properly. So there is the seized motor. This is just turned into a very short video, because I don't think I've got... Let me crack it off, but without bending anything too much. Let me see if I can find any tools. Hang on. Right. I have acquired my toolbox, and we have an hammer. Let us tap off the fan case and see what we've got. This is a bit rattly. Not too sure what is going on. on. Here it comes. It's moving slowly. Crikey, come on, it's cracked off that side. It's just this side now, I just need to release its grip. Aha! That's got that. Here we go. Oh, wow. Oh. It's not a seized anymore. Holy crap. Oh wow. Right, I think we have worked out the point of failure. And if you'll just excuse me, I want to just take a picture. Gosh. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is actually quite impressive. That's the inside of the fan. They're the blades. This is what's left of the outer fan itself. Oh goodness. Goodness, goodness. I don't think I won't be able to take the fan cover off, I don't think, because I don't have my socket set on me. I don't think this pair of mole grips. Oh, it has. Okay, well that's handy. Let's. Oh, goodness me. This would explain then why it was so cheap. So there we go. That is what's left of the fan. I don't think I can do much of this motor because it's taken out everything that's in here as well. I think I need a new motor. I don't think I could. I was wondering if I could get away with just a fan, but I honestly don't think I can. On the plus side, it spins now. I'm so glad we didn't just bang a cable on this and plug it in. That was my plan A. Just, it probably wouldn't have done anything. It would have blown the fuse over. That's probably why the fuse has been cut off, because it would have made a horrific sound. Look at the state of it there. Right, well there's another piece of it. Yes, this whole... There's another piece of it. That... If I had another one to compare it to, I could possibly bend that back. But I don't. It's the honest answer. I don't have another one. Let's just check the carbon brushes. I'm glad I put this bit of shit carpet down there. Oh wow, that is impressive. I don't want to undo that. I've just noticed why. They're crimped to the field coil. What I actually want to do is get a much smaller screwdriver and pop this little cover up just to see what the carbons are like, because the armature doesn't look too bad. It's used, but doesn't look terrible, although these aren't coming out. Oh, don't tell me you seized in, please. I haven't quite got... Oh. There we go, that's moved it. Well, that carbon is okay. I mean, it's a bit grubby, the old field coil, but it spins okay. I'm wondering if I could be really cheeky here and get a blown motor from somebody that the armature was blown up on, but the fan case and the top part are actually okay. I reckon that might be a bit of an easier way. That carbon brush hasn't actually gone in there, so there's something a little bit iffy with that. There we go. That can be cleaned up. Now I know you can date these. In fact, I think those last 2 digits are the date, 96. So it's the original motor. Oh wow, I've never seen such catastrophic failure before. I'm almost impressed. I'm not even going to bother putting it back together. I'm just going to put that nut on. Jesus. Yeah, that's... wow. Yeah, not even I can repair that. In fact, I've got a bin bag down here. I'm just going to stick it all straight in the bin. I can probably reuse this. This is okay. Although, if I had another motor, I wouldn't need it anyway. Gosh, that is amazing. That'll do. Oh, I put these screws back in. So, this video has been an autopsy rather than a first look. I'll be honest, I now have a project on my hands. I'd best go speak to some people about perhaps a motor. So, little Henry is currently status critical. Flip that around so that all the screws fall out nicely onto the floor. In there's quite clean. This is from, I don't know, because the date wheel only gives me a month. Has both of its contacts on there. There's one screw. I'm just going to pop the others out because otherwise they'll drop out when I don't want them to, and I shall never find them again. 1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th gone? Ah, it is in there. There we go. 4 screws out of the way. While we have this here, and I know that fuse works, we shall check the cable. It's into continuity mode. And we'll stick one on the neutral pin, and I think it's... I can hear that. There we go. We have neutral. We don't have live. Nah. We don't have a live connection. And actually, doing that, what I've noticed is that, oh, where are you, is cracked. Now that is a bit of a pain in the bum, actually. Because the number one approved way of sorting this is to take the cable, and I always go back a little bit, chop it off, like that. Ruined this flex. Hetty is now utterly worthless. Then we take a nice, and I actually have a black plug, which is handy-ish. And I'll get this wired on, and we'll see if it's any better then. And now we have our new plug on. We'll put this against the live pin again. And we now have a live and a neutral. I just need to tidy this up because the cover isn't actually on the plug properly, and that's why I hadn't tucked the neutral cable down there. Obviously my American viewers will never have had this because you do not use 3-pin British plugs like we do. Come on, focus. Problem with this camera is it's good until it isn't. So hey, maybe that's what it needed. Maybe that was the problem. I have known it, I'll be honest, quite a lot to be the issue. So I'll put this back on once I put the cable vomiting thing in the right, and don't trap the cable in the front. That very much helps. Oh, I always put them back in here just because it holds it square. Put this one in. This one. And then this one. Flip her around, we'll put the lid back on, the switch is still turned on. So in theory, if I walk over to the plug socket of electricity. Ha-ha! Oh, that's very quiet. Put into low, back into high, and apart from smelling a dog, little free Hetty works! Right. I was saying every time I look for all the tools, but actually you can't see them. I need that fuse because that goes to something else. Free fix. We like the free fix, so we'll put the hose back on. Connect up the tools. And do some vacuuming. Oh yeah, there is still no bag in this, we are still using it bagless, but doesn't make a difference. This floor tool isn't the nicest, I'll be honest. So let's turn it down. There's a, I think there's some dirt on because I'll have to buy one. Well, that's if we can get it fixed. Now there are many reasons this could have failed its pat test. Could have been a break in the cable, could have been a dodgy plug, it could be about to catch fire. I don't actually know. We're going to try and use all of our experience to find out. So will there be a cable in here or not? Yes! There is! Fantastic! Right, well that helps a rather lot. I just want to drop, there we go. Drop the screws out of here and put them all to one side so they stay in one place. Yes, we do have a cable, thank goodness for that. And in fact the end is just under here, but I can't seem to fish it out. There we are. Look, we can even, we'll put the cassette back in and we'll pull the cable out and see what we can spot, if anything. Oh, there's a good length on it still. Nothing untoward, I'll be honest. Seems okay to me. It's just had its cable chopped off, really. Not sure how to progress. Doesn't smell burnt out. It's obviously seen a lot of use, judging by the state of it. Part of me is thinking that, you know what, this is going to be the PCB because it is of that age. Part of me is thinking it may not be. Part of me is thinking maybe it's the cable, the plug-in. And I'm thinking really that I'm going to put the lid back on. Oh, where did the... we even have this, which is fantastic because that'd be a right sod to try and find otherwise. So we'll put this on. And I'm going to do the screws back up, find a plug, and we'll... we can flip it over and lift the tippy toppy bit off. And actually see all of the screws, which are very rusty indeed. So I'll pop those there. So this is the inside of the machine. I'll show you in a bit more detail in a bit. Actually, we can't go that far. Oh, sorry, we need to go. Oh, I want to check if this works. Right, let's try. I can't take the pipe off yet because it's then inside this outer bit. I don't want to take that off, so I've got to unwire everything. And I was hoping to wait and do that like after I tested the pump. Oh, my mould grips are dying. I've abused them too much. Will it just untwist? It's not supposed to untwist because there is a plastic part in the way. It does twist if you put grips on it. Gosh, right, no, we're going to have to try and go a layer deeper. Ooh, these screws are a little bit rusted. Yeah, I'm just hoping that I can leave everything intact for now. I can just lift it off enough just to get all this one's very turned. There we go, it's coming. That's slightly handier. We'll tip it over and we can lift, can we? Why can't we lift the bottom off? Simply because of the other solution hose. Well, here's the first glimpse of our motor. Yeah. All this is fully pressurised. I'm about to get wet, I think, because now I can see the back of the pipe. You just turned. Or have you? Have you just turned the whole I think I'm going to get my spanners out for this, folks. I don't think one broken pair of mould grips is quite going to cut it. Bear with me and I shall find... Do I need to? Hang on. Yeah, I think I do, but even the pipe's going to come off of That's a silly idea. In fact, that's not a silly idea. Oh, it is a silly idea. Bear with. So I found 2 spanners that are doing the job. And I'm expecting to get covered in water any second now, because this pump is now full of water. Ah, so that actually just holds the pipe. Oh no, it's not full of. Oh dear. It's not full of water. It's full of green. Uh-oh. I think it's fair to say then that this pump might be scrapped. Let's see if any water comes out of the outlet to the pump. Is it even coming? No, it is not. Crikey. I don't even know where the water might be. That's dry as... But then of course I suppose it might not have been pumping through because it knows it's blocked, which it technically was. So I think I've got to find, I haven't got to find a bigger screwdriver. I can clamp this side with these. Bigger screwdriver, bigger spanner even. No one's as big a spanner as I am. And then using this one, which hold there. Oh gosh. There we go. I can take the retaining nuts off of this. Pop that back on there so I don't lose it. Refit this pipe. And simply just poke this end out of here. I think even this will go back on it. If it does, that'll be great. If not, it's not the end of the world. So that pokes out of there. So I'm going to put it back together. We'll go back into the bucket of water, this time probably outside. And we'll see if we get... I'm also actually going to take this off, just in case that's not the cause, but just in case it is. Went and do you know Robert Dyer sell the very special, battery that slots in here? So I managed to get that. I went up to town today and got that and fitted it, and still nothing at all, which is very, very strange. So let us have a look at what sort of screws we need. I think a number 0 crosshead should do it. I don't think we need to be any more fancy than that. There we go. Look, we'll undo one of the screws. I hope it's just a loose connection. Maybe it's blown a wire off of a joint somewhere. That would be extra handy as well. I mean, they're quite simple. Oh, there we go. I think it might actually be a number 1 crosshead, but look, we've done it now. It doesn't matter. And then hopefully, I've not had one of these new fancy cordless ones apart. There we go. Look, we can have it off like so. God, look at standards are slipping. Look, they've left the tape on there, and oh, inside there it's all dirty as well. But here is where, you know, everything really goes, and I'm struggling to see anything broken, to be honest. I mean, we can take the motor out. Look, there's just 2 screws here. Oh yeah, we're gonna get that slightly bigger crosshead because I don't want to round all the screws out. Can't say I've refurbished something if it's got rounded screws, can we? Let's put all the screws in a pile. They're all the same size, so we don't need to worry about that. This is why I don't really film myself stripping down vacuum cleaners that much until I've done a few of them, because I make it up as I go along mostly. Here we go. Look, so we can see our motor. Very nice indeed. There's no blown connections on there. No, that all seems okay. I mean, I'm wondering if it's the battery terminals themselves. Probably couldn't hurt to give it a bit of a clean up. Can we push them out, I wonder? All seems to happen on this side because that's the only real power that is there. And yeah, sure enough, I think if I put the batteries back in, right, that's on. Yeah, he's dead. Poor little Henry is. Oh, it's a little blue switch. Doesn't feel very tactile. Who knows? I mean, we'll take this board out. Let's just take the power out before I go and really do myself some damage with all this voltage. Is there a blown solder joint? I think there is actually, but I think there ever was a solder joint there in the first place. I think it's just never had one on it. That end pin on that switch, what do you reckon? I don't think that's actually had any solder. I reckon it's only a couple of these pins that I need. And yeah, our PL 1030 PCB, look at that pile of rubbish, that's what it is. Oh, what a shame we're not going to be able to get this working. Part of the reason I don't remember if the wires are plugged into the motor, and obviously if we turn it on and they're not and they're short, that's going to be annoying. So I'll pop the lid off like so. Nothing new there. In fact, this is also, well, I can point out the differences that I can see. The cord reel is held on. In fact, it's very different all over. The moulding, the way it goes together, that's certainly going to be a bit interesting. Let me pop all the screws out so I can keep a track of them. They don't seem to all want to fall out. We might fix it in this episode, a video. Then you'll see why in a minute I said that I would rather do it this way. Let's have these out. Okay, yeah, you can come out. Why do only some of them come out and not others? Oh, then we can take this bottom piece off, and here is where we see the water damage. Yes, the machine has been wet. Bless it. And here is the motor, and that is why, you know, at the very least, if it's fired right up because I've disturbed something and fixed it, it's not going to do it any more good with that, which is why I had to stop, sit down, film this video so we can see what is what. So I shall unplug the cables again. I had plugged them in. We'll take that out and yeah, have a look at a generally quite grim and disgusting inner motor housing. How lovely is that? We can take off again. Look, you can see, ooh, absolutely stinks as well. Stinks. The motor housing is a one-piece affair now, mixed in with the surround shroud. Yeah, here is our motor, which spins but doesn't work, and certainly looks inside. A couple of the segments of the com are not fab. So what I'm going to do, we'll give this a go. Certainly see if, because electrically it might just be a stuck carbon brush or something. So we'll get it apart and I'll come back and I'll show you if we find anything. And from there, we should be able to lift up the hood to reveal a fair few cobwebs. Unplug the wiring from the motor in the usual way. There we go, look. Vintage under there. It's weird, so I think I've never had one apart this old. There's no motor sound ending in the game. Part of me wonders if there ever was. And we can see the motor itself, and you can date these. And this one dates to the 27th of the 6th, 1988. Look, with the good old-fashioned Numatic logo there. Yeah, we then have this bit here, the bass part. All fairly standard stuff. What we are worried about is the motor, and looking at the armature, it's not terribly happy, admittedly, but then it's not terribly terrible either. Let's pop a carbon brush up, because that will tell us all. Yeah, very small carbon brushes, all very, very worn down there, look. Very worn. Let's have the other one up. So it runs, it's not, I think we might have caught it just in time, I suppose. Ah, yes, there we go, look. That one isn't as happy at all. This is bubbling out. As is the armature. I mean, yeah. Tell you what we'll do. Let's take it apart just a little bit further so that we can get this top piece off to get to the armature. And to do that is a case of you have to uncrimp. It's very annoying on these. I can't say I enjoy doing it, but you have to uncrimp the motor from the field coil, or in the case that I'm doing here, bend it up and yeah, open up the crimps. There you go, look there. That's it's like hardwired onto the field coil wires, which I'm glad they did away with it in the later ones, because it does not make doing this easy. I've done it a fair few times. There you go, there's one removed. Do the other one. It's fairly easy to put back as well. There you go, there's the other removed, and then we can take our screwdriver, take the screw out of the back, and then the whole carbon assembly comes off. And then do that so we can get to the bolt that's there. So I'll do the other side, find my socket set, and come back. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and pneumatic chums. How are you today? Yeah, the warranty is long expired on this, and I've been meaning to have a look. I find myself with a spare couple of minutes, so I figured we may as well do it together and see. Now I only see 4 screws on the bottom, and I don't know whether to lift the bottom up or the top off. From the feeling how this is flexing, I think we might turn it over. And just take the top completely off. There we go, look, it's all still very clean inside, although look at the filth build up. One of the other things I want to do is give it all a bit of a clean. Well, we have The wires at the front seems weird, see little tiny, weeny cables rather than obviously the big stuff that it needs, and it all plugs nicely onto the board. We can take off this connector here, which seems to just do the front. Then this one's probably going to be for the battery contacts, and then those will be for the motor, I would imagine. But we'll leave that for now because we can take off these two here. Ooh. There we go. Oh, long ones that I have seen. I can't imagine the motor's going to go in completely from the bottom. Right, this is lots of this foam sound deadening. Look, it's no wonder it's nice and quiet. So no motor under there yet. The motor must be hiding under here, and I don't quite know how it comes off. Perhaps all of those clips will do it. Ooh, there we go, look. There it is. Nice. It's supposed to be a digital motor, but I can see some black there, but I don't think it's carbon dust. There it is, look. There is the motor of my cordless Numatic. I could unplug it, but I don't particularly want to. We'll put that on there. Look, we have some sound deadening in here as well. And yeah, everything that's just very, very clean and tidy, really. Big old fan case seal there. Again, it's quite grubby considering it's never been apart before. Oh, that is very cool indeed. Oh, there's a ratings plate on the motor. 325 watts, 36 volts. This is the sort of motor that I want to learn how to play with, because, you know, imagine having one of these inside of a Hooverette or something like that. It's pretty cool. 325 watts. That is, 25 watts less than this says, but I guess it needs a bit for the LEDs and a bit for the battery management system. So we can sort of forgive it. God, that bit there looking like a cassette tape is completely encased in epoxy. Probably won't go to the effort of taking that off. Yeah, that's the battery board in there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I quite like that indeed. Just need to work out what sort of thing I would need to run this from something else, because it could be a project for another day if these ever become cheap enough, because they're not at the minute. They're very, very expensive. Right, suppose we better get this back together. This plastic housing off, this is the top part. Obviously they can put the Henry face on here. Yeah, there's the date wheels. July. Pop that there. And yeah, then we can see the back of our motor. This, I presume, comes from the battery, and this comes from the buttons. Once that is done, you can very carefully pull out the motor completely, and then, yeah, we can see into there. There are two more screws which I do think we should remove. One there. Oh, this is a horrible driver. One there, and then are you going to come out? No, wait. I know where the last screw is for that part. We'll pop this down. Ooh, see, it's getting quite dirty. Pop that out the way. I reckon that screw at the back there is going to be last thing holding this on. Am I right? No, I'm not. That's a pain. You're going to come out. I want to show everybody the buttons. But I also don't want to force it, so I think we may be about to give up there and, yeah, concentrate on the motor, which sits behind this silicone cover here. Oh, which obviously then forms the fan case seal. And here it is, look, our little, where is it, 25.2 volts, 220 watts, obviously the 300 watt on the machine also takes into account 50 watts for this, leaving 30 watts elsewhere. Yeah, other than that, it's just a nice digital motor. Don't think it's brushed, it'll be purely digital. Yeah, nice fan case. And this is what provides your airflow, all tucked away in the back of little Henry Quick. And if we take the little filter out, yeah, look, you can now see straight through it from end to end. very nice indeed. There we go, look, so we have a nice blown suppressor, which is fair enough. That only goes live, that only really connects up through there, so I don't think we need to worry about that too much. We can take that out. Here is our motor, which we need to undo some more screws, I think, to access, which is interesting. So I've never had this one apart before. I don't think we should get into that in this video here, because unlike this one, which is all nicely apart, in fact, we may as well just take this out now, just to get it out of the way, because it spins very nicely. Although it is burns or burning out, so hopefully the armature is good on this other motor, so we can make one good motor out of two. Just get off. Really? Hang on, let me try and get this terminal off of this motor.